want you to meet Jessica Reid. She found me at Facebook and offered to share her story here at Hard Talks. Jessica, thank you so much. I love it when people reach out because you are now part of this Hard Talks family, and we are doing such beautiful things with New Earth energy. So thank you very much.
Yeah, and thank you so much. I'm so excited to talk with you and to share with you and to share the journey as well.
I want to say that Jessica is usually in Bali, but she came home just in time for the earthquake. And so I'm very happy for you and all my New Zealand friends that you've made it through this. And we're sending you all lots of love.
Yeah, thank you so much. Thank you so much.
Well, Jessica, let's, I'd like to share with our viewers your unique and personal story of your awakening and what you're doing with all of your abilities.
Yeah, would you like me to share that now?
Yes, that'd be great.
Awesome. So I guess you would call me like a clairvoyant or a medium or a channel purpose fulfillment coach. And so ever since I was like 3 years old, or as far as I can remember and as far as I could communicate with my parents, I would have these experiences of seeing people, seeing spirit, seeing energy, feeling energy, being very empathic, communicating with other beings from different realms and things like that. And so when I was a kid, I didn't really know that I was different or that it wasn't normal.
Isn't that the truth? I mean, how do you, it's so, and a child is kind of okay with just keeping it in their own little world.
Yeah. And I just had lots of experiences, especially in my home, because my home was like a really kind of old character style home that had a lot of energies in it, and it lived near a school. So our driveway actually used to be the alleyway, the walkway to the school. So I always used to see all these old like teachers and kids walking up and down the driveway and things like that, and just talking to and picking up on different areas of the house that I liked or didn't like because I didn't understand why there were certain energies in different areas and things like that. And I found it really hard to sleep at night because I'd often have a lot of visitors when I was going to bed. Now that I think back on it, it's almost like they were protecting me or watching over me or guiding me. But at that age, I didn't know if it was a real person, a spirit, the boogeyman. Like, I didn't know what.
Right.
Because you've got all these concepts on TV or in society. And
yes, the whole boogeyman thing has really made it difficult for us to take that natural process without adding that boogeyman.
Or like a ghost or whatever it was called on TV or in the movies and stuff. So I had a real hard time understanding what I was experiencing or who I was connecting with, because I could talk to my parents about it. Like, obviously when you're a toddler, you just blah blah blah, just you just tell your parents everything, and they didn't quite understand. But my mum had an interest in it and wanted to help, understand further and help me kind of become more aware of what I was interacting with. So she took me to a clairvoyant, and the clairvoyant explained, who I was interacting with and how and what gifts I had, and that I would grow up to basically be in these gifts for the rest of my life and utilize them for, my purpose. And then throughout school, it was like I kind of just shut it down because it wasn't normal, and you couldn't talk to your friends about seeing energies and spirits and astral traveling and that kind of stuff.
Daughter tried to the longest time to just be normal, and I go ahead and let her for a while, but finally it just has to, it just kicks in, and she's using it now. So
amazing.
We do have the ability to turn it off if we need to.
yeah, it's kind of like, it's almost like I sent out almost like a boundary, or sent out like almost like a message to say, like, I don't want to interact with this right now. Like, I just want to live my normal school childhood thing. And I think also it was important for me to do so in terms of like integrating into the human world and learning how to socialize and things like that. But when I left school, because at like 16 I knew that school wasn't, like, the basic things were relevant, but school just wasn't relevant in terms of the bigger picture. And I knew I wasn't going to be going to university. I knew since I was 6 years old that I'd have a business of some type, then it wouldn't really be like a normal thing that I need to learn at university or anything like that. So I kind of just started to, left school, had some life experience, I guess, like working and things like that, and moved to Australia, set up the whole like social, like society lifestyle of, having like a good full-time job, house, relationship, dog, like nice cars, all that kind of materialistic set up that's supposed to make you happy or feel like you've achieved something. and then just kind of realize, like, oh, this isn't it. Like, this can't be it. This is not happiness. This is not fulfillment. This is not. And whenever I was working for, I guess this is a fairly normal thing for most people, but when I was working, just in a cafe or an office for other people, it was like there was this almost like my inner child having like a tantrum, like, this is not what I'm here to do, like, this is not it. And so for so long I was just like, oh, this is just how everyone feels, like no one wants to go to work, generally. But it just got stronger and stronger. There's like a guidance, like, this is not where you're meant to be. Like, you didn't come here to just fill in a position at an office or whatever. Like, there's so much more. And so I kind of got to this point where one night I literally just had like a past life flashback to a life where I had a heart attack. And it's almost like either my soul, my higher self, or my guides just decided, like, things are going to change, like, and things are going to come back now. And it's like a portal or a door just was swung open, and everything came flooding back in, like,
see my portal.
Yeah. Like that. Yeah, it's
portals
like
happen.
all of a sudden, just all this energy, all this information, all these beings, all these spirits, all these guides, all these, like, just everything, all these memories, everything started coming back in, all the astral traveling, all of the oversensitivity, like, empathically, I couldn't handle being in public, like, and so for 2 years at least, I thought I had like chronic anxiety because I was consistently overwhelmed, and it confused me because I was normally such a calm, chilled out kid, and so all of a sudden I was just consistently overwhelmed and highly sensitive, and I didn't understand the energy and the information that was coming forward because it just was too much almost.
I used to be a tour guide for Southern California.
Did you?
I used to be a people-y people, and I, that changed. And some people worry about that, and we're fine with it.
yeah, we get it. We know why.
Right?
Yeah. And it was like, because of course you, it's almost like your left side of your brain's freaking out, going like, something's wrong with me, I'm going crazy, like I've got anxiety or something, like, and I went to doctors and things like that, but nothing. It's like my soul held me back from either taking the antidepressants or going along with that belief that something was wrong with me. And I got into a lot of meditation, a lot of spiritual kind of workshops, worked with clairvoyants and healers and things like that. And that was the only thing that made me feel like I was doing something right, to understand what was going on for me. And just along the way, and this is a couple years, I just started tapping back into my gifts, whether it be just simple intuition, the clairvoyance, the clairaudience, the mediumship, the psychic abilities. Started to really engage in the astral traveling, started reconnecting with, like, say, my past loved ones, and just, practicing how to actually acknowledge and be aware of the energies around, creating bonds with my spiritual guides, all the different gifts, becoming more aware and how to actually utilize them rather than just being overwhelmed by all the energy and information around. And
don't you find that with these abilities, there's just this natural urge to serve, to help others, to help to bring them along into our this new energy realm that we are.
Totally. Yeah, it's like being it's like you just feel the pure essence of being that bridge of what needs to come from the higher dimensions or higher consciousness that the world is really kind of like going to positively benefit from. And like that urge to be in that space, because once I kind of really re-recognized my gifts and kind of, I guess, entrained with the gifts and the sense of knowing, like, okay, I don't have anxiety, like I know how to now deal with and find a really positive experience from what's coming to me. And I decided to leave my job, leave my relationship, rehome my dog, leave the home, leave Australia, left everything and came back to New Zealand, to home, and just decided, okay, like, I'm going to now do what I've envisioned for myself ever since I was 6 years old, because now there's clarity upon what the actual avenue would be, in terms of, I always knew I'd have a business, but I didn't know exactly what I'd be doing. And so I decided, like, okay, this is my gift, this is my zone of my, what I call like my zone of genius, or my kind of like my place in terms of, this is what I am good at, this is what I can thrive at, and this is how I can help people. And so I decided to start doing, the meditation groups and the readings and the mentoring, and it all kind of like just was supported and by the universe and appreciated. So I just continued with it, and that's when all the anxiety dropped away. No more anxiety. Like, it's like everything kind of just was really challenging, but once I put the pieces of the puzzle together and got into that space of, soul embodiment or light or purpose, everything just, there was no need for anxiety.
Okay, so Jessica, for people who are just finding their abilities, I know for me, I was astral traveling, and I didn't even know the words astral traveling. I had to actually go out and see what other people were doing and what they were calling it. And I want to impress upon, because all my guests say this, we have those moments of close to insanity because we don't know exactly what's going on. If people can just keep walking through that phase.
Yeah, definitely. Because it's kind of like where you let go of, I think that's the point where you actually just let go of your ego and you transcend it, because you're following your soul. Because your soul's got that little like whispering saying, like, there's something magical within this, or there's something for you to still discover and tune into with this.
Right. And all of our experiences are very unique. And although we have like maybe the same abilities, they're all uniquely used.
Definitely. Like, I find people have their strengths as well. Some people are more visual, some people are more audible, some people are more like a clear knowing, and it's all in their feeling, and they kind of feel it in their body. Some people, I guess, just kind of, I know a lot of what I experience and a lot of what other people experience is almost like a little mini movie that kind of plays out in your third eye. And everyone experiences it uniquely and differently, and with different combinations of their senses. So I think it's just beautiful that we have our individual kind of gifts, even though they can be very similar. Right. Yeah.
And I am so grateful that people like you come to my show and share these things, because that's what I'm hoping these shows are doing, is letting our young awakening people know this is how it is, and it's beautiful, and this is who we really are. And I wish we had these shows when we were awakening and growing up, but our paths are our paths, and no matter what, we're here now, and we have this amazing ability or opportunity to help with Facebook, for example.
Yeah, I kind of see, like I've heard people say previously, the internet or the connection that we all have through the internet, whether it be Facebook or any other forms of social media, it's almost like an introduction of the fifth dimension in a sense, because it's like you go from a place of where people could only connect with those that were in their physical vicinity, right, or you could send a letter that would take days to arrive, and now we're in a space where we can, it's almost like telepathy. We can, be beside one another or on the other side of the world, but reach each other or talk to each other just as instantaneously. Right. And there's like a wireless connection between us all. So it's so helpful. And so people that are like yourself and people that are running podcasts or, things that are reaching wider audiences, books, things like that, it's all just uplifting the whole ascension process for the collective consciousness, which is so beautiful that so many people like you and I are just kind of contributing a piece of the puzzle to that whole process, that whole upliftment of the human experience here on the earth being something that we can all see from a conscious space of, this is our soul in a physical dimension, here to have an experience, let's enjoy it. Let's kind of be on purpose. So thank you for providing such an awesome platform for people.
Well, and when I first started getting on social media, I was told that in the perspective of that everything is an illusion, that we love each other so much and we're determined so much to reconnect once we got here, that we created this illusion of a computer just so that we could connect, because it was
in
so
the physical way
powerful within us to reconnect.
Yes, 100%, and it's so awesome to see that. And I think it's going to ascend even further, where people, I don't even know what it's going to look like, but it's going to go further.
I know.
It's going to become even more amazing, even more connected, even more, transcending the physical plane. So it's really exciting time to be, with our souls in these bodies at this point.
You have some beautiful shows on YouTube.
Oh, thank you.
Yes, talk about those just a little bit.
So recently I went traveling around Europe, and when I was in Spain, I was doing like a meditation, kind of just relaxing and hanging out. And when you kind of just get in those bliss zones where you're just like, you're in your bliss, so you just feel really good, and it's like something just kind of drops in, like a inspiration, a thought. And I just got the idea of the Purpose TV concept, being that, just having a channel on YouTube where, like this, like a Zoom meeting, like a one-to-one call, we just talk about and share our journeys of purpose and what we're contributing to the world, and sharing it in a way where if other people feel like they have a purpose or a mission or a message, giving them that encouragement of, this is what it's like. It's sometimes challenging, but it's so rewarding and so fulfilling. And these are different ways that you can go about it. There's all these different platforms or, ways that it can really succeed. So, and when I got that kind of download or inspiration, it was one of those things where it's almost like you recognize it, like that was all part of the plan all along, and you just remembered. It's already part of something within you. So that was really awesome, and just meeting lots of amazing people through that to share the stories further. And obviously when you start co-creating with people like we are now, you start sharing your message further and further and further, because now, you know, your audience is introduced to what I do, and my audience is introduced to what you do. And so it just multiplies and multiplies when you co-create, because you're bringing all the collective consciousness together and, you know, connecting people with new people, new leaders, new healers, you know,
Yes.
all different people that are bringing positive things to the world.
Wow. When I look back at my life, I never thought it would be this grand. I feel so incredibly blessed to have been given this opportunity to create Heart Talks. And okay, I had, you know, heard quite some time back that how important it was the people that you surround yourself by.
Yeah.
Be very selective of whose energy you're around. And I must say that that's one thing that I've become skillful at, is hanging around the coolest people now.
Yeah. And people with like that positive energy that just makes you feel good, and
That's right.
makes you feel inspired, and makes you feel like you're co-creating on purpose. And
Yes.
yeah, I totally get what you mean. And I think also like an important thing is not only to be, I guess, like vigilant about who you surround yourself with and whose energy is going to be affecting your, you know, space, your journey, but also how you interact with the people around you as well, you know, because I find like sometimes you're just going to have people in your life that, say whether it be family or people that are just in your life that you may not have selectively chosen on a human level, but understanding that perhaps they're there for a soul reason, that they're there as part of your soul group, and they may not show up in the most positive way, but there's things to learn from that interaction, and to not always resist it, but come from a space of love, you know, as much as you can, to kind of, you know, select what you're having as your environment, as your people around you, but also be selective about how you're going to interact with the people that you may not have necessarily in a human form chosen. Do you know what I mean by that?
Yes, I think for me is when I finally get to the point where I can sincerely say, I wish you the best. That I have worked myself through it all.
Yeah.
That doesn't mean we have to agree or we have to hang out.
Yeah.
I don't have to, you know, we don't have to engage, but I do wish you the absolute best.
Yeah.
And that feels good. Again, it's giving.
Yeah. And it's like you're in complete creative mastery of how the people around you affect you. Because, yeah, like I was saying, some people you may not consciously choose to have in your environment, but you can choose how you relate to them and what the energy is in terms of your interaction. Yeah, but the environment is so important and so effective as to, you know, how that influences you moving forward. Yeah.
Well, and if you're an empath, you're dealing with multiple dimensions along with the 3D world. So, yeah, things can get pretty perplexed. And if you know an empath, good luck.
Yeah.
Well, Jessica, tell us what it is that what services you're offering, and about your website.
Sure. So the main services are all online because I travel, and I'm just planning my trips now to feeling really drawn to Hawaii and the United States and Canada, just because I feel like there's some kind of like cosmic connections there and things like that. So I have the soul consciousness readings, which are the main service, and that's all, you know, like the clairvoyance, the mediumship, the clear knowing, the psychic abilities, like just tuning into someone and really connecting with their journey, their purpose, what they need to know at this point in time is their guidance, reconnecting with their spirit guides and their loved ones, any questions that they have. That's obviously on their mind at the time. And I also have a online membership where I channel through what my guides feel is the best thing to teach or to pass on at the time. So I have like weekly calls where I either do like a webinar or a training around how to really utilize your gifts more, whether it be, you know, astral traveling or attracting a soulmate, whatever it is, or, you know, clairvoyance and third eye and chakras and everything. And then I also do 90-day mentorships where I take people, specifically a woman, through that journey of really discovering their gifts, knowing their gifts, feeling confident in their gifts, and creating a really clear vision and steps forward as to how they're going to share their light and their gifts with the world. Because I think a lot of people get kind of stuck in that stage of, I know I've got these gifts, but I'm not really kind of sure of them or confident in them, or no one really understands me and my gifts, or I want to help other people, but I'm not really sure how, or it's a bit of a scary step to take to actually leap into your purpose and to leap into whether it be like a purposeful business or venture in that way. So I love that journey of helping women, you know, really essentially feel enlightened and happy and fulfilled in a very similar journey to what I have, because I can only really teach what I've known and experienced for myself. So that's where I find is the real kind of real fulfillment for me, because I see the whole journey and see them really step into their purpose and share that with the world. And I see the world receiving a new light worker, you know, a new person that's offering something that so many people need. So that's really exciting. That's what really fills my soul.
Well, I know every time that I am in a connection with another soul, another woman who knows the goddess within her, I know it brings out that in me. And that's why it is so important. And I love the sisterhood that we have created on this planet. We are not in competition with each other. We are walking hand in hand through this journey with each other. And there is nothing more powerful than these goddess relationships that I'm having. And I thank you so much for all of us, for what you're doing, because for what you do for yourself, you're doing for all of us. And we are all blessed to have one another.
Yeah, definitely. I absolutely resonate with that too. When you kind of find your soul sisters or your soul family, and yeah, like you say, the goddesses that you really resonate with, and that you're on that same wavelength, because you just feel like you've found your home on Earth, and you know what I mean? It's like a lot of time you can feel like you're on Earth and you're this alien that, you know, is so out of place. But then you find your soul sisters and your soul family, and it's like...
And that's how naturally that new Earth energy is created.
Yeah.
That is what we have done here at Heart Talks. We have created this ripple, this beautiful golden ripple of love over the entire planet. I've had guests from all over the world. And to tie us all together in this energy is just, it's a miracle, and it is our purpose. And what joy. I mean, I can't think of anything better. We've really found our flow, and I am so happy to share with everybody. And it's so nice that, you know, there's probably a lot of your Facebook friends who have not gotten to meet you on a video or on a talk. So I'm sure they're really going to enjoy getting to meet you in this show.
Yeah, thank you so much. I absolutely love connecting with you.
All right. Okay, so that's at jessicareid.com.
JessicaReidOnline.com. Yeah.
All right. All right. Well, I hope you've all enjoyed this. Jessica, I hope we can do another show together sometime.
Yeah, definitely.
I just love your energy, and I hope people go take a look at your web.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome. From my heart to yours, namaste.
You too. Namaste.